Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire.
All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to another Railway Empire video. It's been a while, but I've been waiting on the new Germany DLC to arrive, and sure enough, it is here. So we're going to take a look at the at what all comes in the DLC, and we're going to do that through the lens of the scenario that comes with it. So the new Germany DLC brings us this one very cool map, Germany and surrounding areas. So it's a rather large map that has, well, you'll see it's broken up into a bunch of regions rather than the usual thing. So let's go into the scenario itself. And this will be an intro to the scenario. And after this video, then I'm going to turn around and play this patchwork scenario. So basically, the message down here is that Germany is kind of divided into these things they're calling microstates. There are regional states all around that if you add them all together, you end up with Germany, which is why they call it patchwork. And what we're going to do in our scenario is actually try to pull the pieces together. But we're 1850, 1870, but let's talk about what's actually in the DLC. As I said, you get that scenario, you get that map. That map is playable, you know, through free mode and other ways of playing. But we're going to look at it through the lens of the scenario, as I said. So let's run up to very hard. Doesn't really matter now. And we'll come back and restart this to actually play it. But
are you a man or a mouse?
The first thing we see here is that they have gone in and renamed these guys. So the general, instead of being General Johnson or Jackson or whatever he was, Johnson, I think, he's now General Walter von Köpenick. And I'll just do this apology once. I don't speak German, and I will do my best on the names of the cities and the names of the people, and I will butcher them, and that's just the way it's going to be. So these are all the hillbilly versions of German names and city names. Okay, so we got the general, exact same characteristics as before, but a different uniform, different name. Then here's the one. Oh my goodness. What were they thinking? Okay, so we've got Don Lorenzo. He's now Franz der Kaiser Ubermüller. So from Munich, tough working class neighborhood of Munich. Oh my God. Yeah, all I can say about him is, if you're going to grow up in a tough neighborhood in Munich and you're going to dress like that, you had better be tough. Okay, so still the same characteristics as before.
Meticulous planning, tables, figures, and hard facts.
Really no changes for old Roger, except now he's got a new name, Jakob Schwarzenberg. So Jakob Schwarzenberg is our rather fancily dressed industrialist, same characteristics.
Time is
Then we move on to Doc Murphy, who is now Gustav Schmidt, and Gustav, of course, still has the exact same characteristics.
How dare you make me wait?
The lady got a new dress, but she's still just like she was. She's now called Beta. I think that's Beta. I'm not sure. Beta von Pomp. And so still super great on passengers and mail, just like before.
Well,
and the trickster didn't even change. She's still got the same dress, and she is now called Sophie Louise. So again, the characters have been dressed up a little differently, but they're the same ones. And the other thing to notice about this scenario is we can play it with all of our characters. So let's, I think I'm going to play it with Gustav Schmidt here, because he's just, wow, the 70% cheaper locomotives, that's just strong. Free maintenance. I'm actually going to do maintenance in this one too, by the way. All right, so there's, let's go on in and take a look at the map, because the map is the next thing that's a big difference. All right, so let's look at the map itself. As you can see, it's a big map, but the big thing here is this new button up here called Territory. If we look at the territories, we can see, when we get back here to a higher view, we can see that we are allowed to do our thing in this territory right here, which has a name. It's called Hesse. But in the other territories, you've got these lines indicating we can't go in there, we can't build, we can't do whatever, and we have to pay Deutschmarks in order to have access to the territory. And when you click on a territory, it tells you how many cities, how many businesses are in there, and how many inhabitants are in those cities total. So there's a big difference in the game right there. These ideas of territories that we have to buy the rights to get into to do our thing. So you can see they're very different prices. 600,000 for this Thuringia, I guess. Up to 4 million for Brandenburg, which has 4 cities and 9 businesses. You know, much bigger place. We've got this one up here, 1.8 million for Hanover. 850,000 for Westphalia. That's not so bad, but you only get a couple of cities with Westphalia. 1.2 million for Rhineland. So these things are going to be expensive. So obviously we're going to have to play really well just to even open up territories. And we know, even without seeing the tasks that we have, that we're going to have to open up these territories. So what else do I want to show you? I want to show you, well, the industry. The industry is very different, and it's going to take a while for me to get used to this and for all of us, I'm sure. But the industries are quite different. So let's go look at Castle, our starting point, and let's look at the industries. Okay, so we've got, our first one is our meat is now a sausage maker. The sausage maker takes pigs and produces sausage and a byproduct of leather. Then we have breweries, which take, what is that? That is not grain. Could it be hops? Do we have hops in this game? Let me see here. Hops, yes, we do. So we make take hops and make beer in a brewery. We take the pig and salt. Salt comes in very early on this DLC. Usually it's very, very late, 90, 100,000, somewhere up in there in population. But this comes in early. We can have a smokehouse that has the pigs and the salt and the logs to make smoked sausages. And then next food industry, again with the salt, veggies and salt, makes sauerkraut. And wool and the byproduct of leather that comes from the meat factories are used to make the weird outfits that our new Don Lorenzo wears. Then we go back to traditional grain, which then is used to make baked goods, and on and on. I won't go through all of them right now, but you can see they're a little bit different. All the way down here, we will mention this one, cuckoo clocks. We actually take wood and tools and make cuckoo clocks in a precision engineering manufacturing industry. So that's our 13 industries that we have, and we can see from all of these kind of the products that are out there for us to harvest. Pigs and hops and salt and logs and vegetables and wool and milk and fruit and what are these are sugar beets, I think. Yes, sugar beets and grain to make candy, and then our usual iron and wood to make tools, and there you go. So different set of products, different set of industries, and it will take some time to get used to those industries. As I said, when you're play by habit like I do, we'll have to really get used to what the kind of the big six are: grain, pigs, veggies, wood, sausages, and pastries. All right, so there's our new products. There's our new manufacturing. There's our new map, the idea of the territories and how we have to purchase the rights to build in those territories. And what else would we like to see? Let's go take a look at the trains, the locomotives that come with the DLC. Okay, so I'm moving over into sandbox mode in order to show you all the locomotives, but we can also see from this that we have the ability to play that Germany and surrounding areas map in our 100 years, 1830 to 1930, plus we can play the 30s, 50s, 70, 90, 1910, 20-year time periods as we're used to. So you get some nice ability to play that, and that would apply to the scenarios and everything else. So let's just go in 1830 to 1930 so we can see all the trains. And it really doesn't matter where we are or who we use for this. And you'll notice too, there's a little difference in our coach cars here. You can see from this illustration. It looks like the buildings are a little different. I hope they've gone more into immersion in this.
Unlimited cash, no obligations, and no annoying competitors.
As I was saying, I hope they went more into the immersion part of this for this DLC, because I know the English one, many people criticize it as being kind of America on an England map, and there was some truth to that. So let's just go down here and look at these buildings. I don't know what a German building should look like, but there's what we have for the early buildings in Germany. But the main thing we wanted to see here would be our trains. So let's go to our engine shed and go see what we've got here. Go all the way back. Wow, there's a lot of trains. Okay, so here we go. So here's the little rocket that came in with England, the John Bull, which we're already familiar with, the Adler, the Jervis, the Derwent, the Firefly. Let me just flip ahead here. So this one I do believe is a newbie, the Limit 420, or Lamat, whatever it is. 29 miles per hour, 42 tractive. I'm not going to go through all these. I would find it personally a little bit boring, but here's the Limit. That's a new one. The Waverly is a new one, a nice mixed-use early freight train, 35 miles per hour, 45% tractive speed, nice train. The Hulda is a new one. Again, this is an express train. This is the first express train that pops up for us. Then we've got the Rhine. This is also a new one, mixed-use train. The Class F, I'm pretty sure that's a new one. I don't recall seeing the Class F before. It's got a lot of tractive power. You could use it for very heavy loads in the mountains, things like that. And are there any other new ones? This one is a G5. It's a freight train. I am not sure, but I think this one is new for us too. 43 miles an hour, great tractive power, good freight engine, very expensive. And this Class 3B is also a new one. Mixed use, decent little train. And the Rail Crusher, which is an express train, pretty fast for time period, 1892, fairly fast, and good passenger rating, so a good passenger train. And this Taft Vale Tank 062. This one is another mixed use. This is also new. Okay. And the P8 is another new one, mixed use, pretty fast, good tractive power, decent passenger rating, can accelerate, not bad. Nice train, pretty expensive. And this T16 is also a new one. And the Flying Scotsman, I never did get to that in my videos in the England and Ireland, Great Britain and Ireland, sorry, DLC. And we're back to a couple from South America. The Mountain, I think, is old. I don't recall this. This one, I think, this one's new too, the GT2X. Very expensive, good speed, good tractive power, mixed use train. And we're back where we started. Okay, so quite a few trains. So we got a bunch of new locomotives to play with. We've got a nice new map. We've got the new idea of territories. And after this, we're going to get into the scenario and just see what's shaking with that. So there's an introduction to the DLC. So I hope that was helpful to you if you're trying to decide whether or not to get it. And that's just a look, as I said, into the map, the new products, the new industries, the new trains, and the new territories. The idea of territories or regions on a map. But other than that, of course, it's still Railway Empire, and of course, we got version 1.8. So I've been playing with 1.8 beta in recent videos for quite some time now. So I'm not going to do an intro into version 1.8, but all that functionality that came along with version 1.8 is also, of course, released now into production. So all of you, even you folks on consoles, should be able to use the 1.8 functionality going forward. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope it helps you decide, what you want to do with the Germany DLC, and I hope I'm kind of excited to play it. And so I hope you are too.
I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railway Empire video. Thank you.